Hey, okay, so first of all, I want to show you progress on this. So I finished this section. I do with these larger pieces, I do I break them up in sections. So there's four sections, and I got the lower corner section, and then I got three more sections to go. But I'm really happy because the blending worked. I was so worried. Oh my gosh. I didn't have to take out any colors. Right now I'm starting work on the blue and and then we'll see how the muscle tone works on his arm. Hopefully that'll work. Yeah, because all this up here is going to be his bed head. That's that's like his trademark, isn't it? The orange jumpsuit and bed head. Oh, good heavens. So I'll keep you posted on how this is going. And because again, I was working on Jessica Rabbit and um when the creator for Go I can never say his name correctly, so I'm not going to try. But when the creator for Dragon Ball Z passed away, and immediately I said, nope, the next one is going to be. But I'll keep you posted on that. But that's not what this is about. So this weekend, I on my personal Facebook page, I showed where I was working on this and I was watching anime. And of course, the anime was Trigun because that's my favorite anime. You know, it's hit or miss between Speed Racer and Trigun, but I think Trigun is a little bit because I grew up watching Speed Racer. It was part of Saturday morning cartoons. Well, a friend posted on that particular post that I made and said, have you heard of the new Trigun? What are you talking about? I mean, this completely threw me because I was sure that after the movie that was put out in 2010, the creators basically said, Vash's story is over, no more. We're done. That's it. So to hear that there's more Trigun, so I, after I finished watching the series, um, I sat down and did some research. We're going to talk about it because serious. I mean, so, oh, yeah, because again, for me, I got them up here. So, like, Trigun has been around, I think it was the late 90s. I think it aired in 98. And then again on Adult Swim, it got a whole new following, and that's why the movie was released. In fact, I remember when I was, because it was 2010, and I was living in Seattle, and they showed it at, I think it's like the anime convention up there, and they were showing it, and I didn't get to go. I think I was going through finals at the time. Yeah, there was some kind of thing for school, and I decided to be responsible. But I had some friends telling me, they're like, "Hey, you like that particular futuristic Western, right? The futuristic Western anime, right?" And I was like, "What, you mean Trigun?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's it. It has a movie now." I was like, "Sure it does." Well, I went home, I went and I visited home, and this friend of mine, we've been friends since high school and everything, and both anime junkies. And she told me. because she told me it was fine. And so then when it came to DVD, she had bought it, and the next time uh, after she had bought it and I was in town, we watched it. So, but yeah, I I was I was just sure that that was it. Vash's story was done. Didn't it, there were a lot of those creators of those cartoons that were like, it doesn't need to keep going. We don't because they were seeing what Disney was doing, butchering their stories. You know, the Lady and the Tramp had like two added on. Cinderella, I understand that people like the third one. I saw the third one. I thought it was cute. But there's a lot of them that don't need the add-ons, the fan fiction-esque add-ons, and so there were a lot of them, like Ed, and Eddie's creator was really smart with what he did. And so now the the name of this is Trigun Stampede, and it was released last year, January of last year. And all the I'm gonna go with the English side of it because me being American. And I don't know much about it. I haven't seen any episodes or anything. I saw the trailer for it. I will put it in the description box. You can correct me on anything, and I will not be hurt. So I will have no problem with that. Inform us, please. Yeah, I'm by all means, please go ahead. So, so first of all, it was released, I believe, by Orange Animation Studios. Let's see. It is animated by Studio Orange. It's a reimagined adaptation of Trigun, and so this is like a and when I saw the when I saw the trailer, first of all, I do want to point this out. Um, because I don't think I have yet. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm known to do that. Ugh, it's like a trademark at this point. So the original voice actors for the English dub came back. Okay. So the original voice actor for Vash and Nicholas and and Millie, or not Millie. I saw that Millie hadn't come back, which bothers me. What's that about? How can you be reimagined and not have Millie? What's going on there? But for Meryl, yes. Um, so uh so there is that. So the original voice actors have returned. Um, there are there are some changes, which does happen in a reimagining. Every once, um, there's a game that I haven't played yet. I may just go ahead and sit down and play it because what I was hoping to do was finish King's Quest, the entire series before doing the reimagined version, but I may just go ahead and play it anyway. And there are changes to it. I mean, basically, the premise of it is that it's King Graham as a grandfather telling the story of his adventures to his grandkids. But there are changes. to it. It happens. Well, some of the changes that they have are Meryl is an investigator. She's not an insurance, and she has a different person called Roberto De Niro. I kind of wish they had hired Robert De Niro for that, but he's not the voice actor. That would have been the icing on the cake for me. I would have loved that. It'd been so great. It's like, darn. Oh well, can't have everything. But one of the things I loved about the old Carmen Sandiego is the pun names that they had for her henchmen. Like one I remember the most is Lynn Guini. Just stuff like that. Y- And there were times that I would sit there and wait to see who I was supposed to catch. And just giggle at the names that they would have. Well, here's another one. So, but yeah, they're investigative reporters. They're not part of an insurance anything. And so they took out Millie. I'm upset. I liked Millie. Millie was one of my favorites, but they also have Legato, Blue Summers. Legato, one of the brilliance of Trigun was that there were bad guys in here that I actually liked a lot. There were others that were just annoying. Bad guys. It's funny because there are movies, TV shows, anime, what have you, that there are the bad guys that you are supposed to hate, and yeah, and and they're well written so that yes, you do want them gone. But there are those, I mean, like when I talked about Vincent Price and the fact that any bad guy he plays was just so, yes, he was a villain, but he was so sophisticated and so you loved him. I mean, Legato was like that. The way he talked and the way he moved and everything about him was just like, yeah, you're an asshole. But man, there was that one before the gung ho guns were uh even introduced. It was the first guy that the first leader of the bandits that took over that steamship, the one that kept saying beautiful and all that stuff. He was downright annoying. That had the big shoulder pad things. I couldn't stand him. I he it wasn't because he was the villain. It was just he was just every time he spoke, it was like, get on with it. Just- we get it. You learned a word. Cool. Oh, oh man. So, but yeah, so that's the great thing about that's what I like about Trigun anyway, is the way that uh they wrote their baddies. And so yeah, it's a reimagining and there are some things changed, which that happens with reimaginings and everything. And they took out Millie. I wonder if they got that was one thing throughout the series, and oh gosh, I can't remember. It's been a while since I've watched the movie, but in the series, every episode had that cat. Oh, I so hope that they have that cat. Any of you that has watched the series, do they have that cat again? Oh, I hope so. Because that was like a running gag. It's that cat. You wait for it. Now, one thing I want to point out is at first when I saw the animation, it threw me off because I didn't know that it was a reimagining. I was like, I don't know that I like this. And um, one one thing, the friend of mine that told me about this said, "Well, maybe we're of the age that we demand old style anime." Maybe. Oh gosh. I mean, for heaven's sake, in a month I'll be 42, so whatever. But when I when I watched the trailer, again, I'll put it in the description box for those of you. And because at first I was like, is this another one of those characters that only work in 2D style animation? Because one of the great things about Trigun that I absolutely love is there are so many times in the series where the detailing of the drawing captures the feeling of the character. You know, anime is known for doing close-up shots of eyes and close-up shots of mouths and, like when somebody's laughing, you get that close-up shot. Or they do like um the light shots, and that sort of thing. But the thing about Trigun is when you have an eye that is wide, there's that detailing, especially with Vash, because when he's doing this gun battle and then it closes he does a close up because of the character that he is and he doesn't want to kill anybody and he's in that struggle and his eye is wide and you get that detailing drawing around his eye and you realize the struggle that he's in and and you get it with other characters as well and it's another going back to what I was saying about the bad guys is they do it with the bad guys as well. I think one of the best, I don't remember what Gung Ho Gun it was, but there's a moment where Vash rises up, it's dark, and his eyes light up, and he's angry. And you all of a sudden see the the gung ho gun and he's terrified. And when they do a close up of the gung ho gun and his eyes and the fact that he's terrified, there's other um, shots as well that we see with the drawings and illustrations that they do for this show. Um, like the sun setting and Vash is standing on a mound of sand, or the more iconic with Nicholas Wolfwood, where he's sitting smoking a cigarette and the cross that he has. And I think that's the more popular one because who doesn't love Nicholas, you know? If you say no, you're lying. And so when I first saw this animation, first of all, with uh, let me with Vash, because one of the names that Nicholas called him was Needle Noggin. Well, now he's no longer Needle Noggin. So upset. And yeah, they took that away. You reimagined only to take. Well, now I'm boycotting it. I'm not doing that. No, not for something so silly. Oh my gosh. I feel like people would take me that seriously. No, no. Honestly, people, I would not. Um, my mind actually went to the animation for Breath of the Wild. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, and I hope I hope that's not disrespectful in any way. It just, and I think it's the hair. For some reason, the way that Vash's hair moves reminds me, and there's that one cut scene where Link protects Zelda. You know, she's running away from something, and you know the bokoblins in the forest or whatever that are trying to kill her, and he protects her. And yeah, it's something about the way that his hair moves, or it's like the way that the hair fluffs, and I think that's the best word to describe it, reminds me of the animation for Breath of the Wild. And I don't mean any disrespect in that. It's just that's where my mind went. And I do have to agree in some sense here because one thing that my friend said was that he had a problem with Vash uh because like for us old people, you know, Vash always seemed like a 20-year-old, you know, in his 20s and you know like an adult basically. And for some reason the animation makes him look like a teenager of some kind, like preteen teenager. And so that kind of I do have to agree there. But again, I think it would take actually watching the series. I haven't watched it. So, but again, you can correct. I have no problem with that. Yeah. Oh, his glasses don't have the round glasses, which were popular in the 90s. I'm actually glad that they kept that. But the only problem is that it doesn't have the little um at least that I'm seeing in the trailer, it doesn't have maybe they explain that um the little electric charge thing, you know, a little lightning thing. Yeah. They're just straight. Because his always had that, yeah. And that's what uh made him his was um the little but they look straight here. And maybe it's explained in the thing, but anyway, uh 'cause I don't want to go too long on this. So again, I haven't seen it. I was just told about it yesterday. I saw the trailer. I'll put that in the description box. Uh yeah, I'm old. I don't have a problem with Vash being 3D. I really don't. I do have to agree that because I've always considered these characters adults and they don't look adult. And, but, you can disagree. I have no problem with that. We don't, and he's not Needle Noggin. He's not Needle Noggin now. I don't see that. But I'm glad that the voice actors are back. That makes me happy. Uh, so, and, but anyway, yeah, this is something that threw me. I had no idea that this was a thing. It came out last year, January of last year. And so I'm interested to see it. And when I do see it, should I do a follow-up? Anime fans, don't hurt me, please. Anyway, I'll close up here.